Good morning, everyone. Welcome along to the Liverpool Daily News on the Blood Red channel with me, your host, Patrick Smith. And I'm joined today by Liverpool.com writer Ben Bocsack ahead of Liverpool versus Ajax, Liverpool's trip to Ajax in the Champions League this evening. A very tough test indeed for the Reds. Now, there's been some injury news and updates from Jurgen Klopp, Ben. The main standout one is Thiago Alcantara. We know he's going to miss the match. How big a miss is he going to be? Because the midfield of late has struggled, and in these big European sides, you really want Thiago stepping on the ball and controlling the park, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's going to be a huge miss. I think even against Nottingham, you could see that the build-up play wasn't the same really as it was before. And I think Liverpool do need someone like Thiago in the midfield who kind of moves the ball about quickly and efficiently, whereas Liverpool kind of struggled with that against Nottingham. You saw the build-up play. I think the key thing about Thiago as well in midfield, he's always making himself available. Whereas when I was watching us against Nottingham, a lot of the times I saw Fabinho sort of hiding behind the Nottingham players, and the same with Curtis Jones. So I think that aspect of it is going to be a miss as well.
Yeah, I mean, the midfield battle is something that has been the constant conversation. Liverpool should have been dominated in so many games. I mean, we've got a message here from Kumar about predicted midfields for this game. Who would you go for, Ben? Are you going for a 2 or a 3? You know, what's the best way that Liverpool should go for this game midfield-wise?
I mean, I think you just have to go with Henderson and Fabinho as the midfield pivots, and I just don't think the other options, the likes of Jones, Cavallo, and Elliott, are that effective in midfield. I think they're much better utilised on those left midfield, right midfield roles. So I think you just have to go with Henderson and Fabinho.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I mean, on Curtis Jones, it was a baptism of fire on his return from injury, isn't it? Playing at Nottingham Forest away, he got big Konate smashing into him every tackle in the match. Really, really tough one for him. But we speak of the midfield. It's really positive seeing Naby Keita back in full contact training. I know some of the fan base will be annoyed with that, and some will be delighted. It's always the way with Naby Keita. But he is sort of much needed in this midfield, Ben. Obviously, he can't play in the Champions League matches, but domestically with the fixture list, his return surely is a welcome one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think he has that much of a future at Liverpool, but in the short term, I think it's a huge boost for Jurgen Klopp. And I think, yeah, he's much needed. Just because, Liverpool brought in Arthur, and he had an injury, and there's a few other injuries as well in midfield. So I think if Klopp can have him available, then whatever your opinion is of Naby Keita, I think we can all agree that when he is on the pitch and when he is in form, he's still a valuable player for Liverpool and an asset. So I think that's still a positive.
Well, let's move backwards then to the defence, because we've also got Ibrahim Konate back from his injury. He looks set to replace Joe Gomez, which perhaps could be a bit harsh, but then, Gomez was so brilliant against Man City and then so poor against Nottingham Forest. The inconsistency striking once again. Are you definitely starting Konate in this game?
I don't think he's quite ready yet. I think I'd just stick with Gomez and Van Dijk for now. I don't think Gomez was that poor against Nottingham. I think it wasn't really helped by the midfield. Fabinho was quite poor, and so was Curtis Jones in terms of defending. So I think I just stick with it and see how that goes.
But there's also that availability on the ball that you mentioned as well. How they are missing Thiago, that option. I found there's a lot of times, especially at the weekend, when Gomez and Van Dijk would have the ball, there wouldn't be anyone to pass to in midfield. Granted, you've got Forest playing, deep, compact. It's quite difficult to break down. But is this going to be a problem for Liverpool tonight, do you think, breaking down the Ajax midfield? Because they're going to have seen that and think, right, there's an opportunity for us.
No, I think Ajax will try to play attacking football. So I think it's going to be a different test for Liverpool. It's still going to be a big test in terms of the atmosphere in the stadium. That's going to be, I think, similar to Forest. And but other than that, I think it's going to be more of an attacking test for Liverpool to see if they can deal with a side like Ajax, who plays similar football to Napoli, just less effectively. If Liverpool can deal with that sort of threat. But I think that's the kind of game where I feel more confident about Liverpool. Whereas if Ancelotti said, Liverpool are quite easy to decipher if you just get all the defenders back and try to counter attack them. That's been Liverpool's Achilles heel for the past year or so, or ever since in this club system. That's the way it seems to work. Is a lot of teams seem to have a lot of joy from just parking the bus, so to say, and getting the counter attack. I mean, that's how Real Madrid essentially won the Champions League. They limited Liverpool to very few chances, and then had one really good counter attack and scored from it. So I'm always more cautious of those teams, whereas Ajax don't tend to do that. It's not in their sort of footballing veins to do something like that. So they will attack, and I think Liverpool will have more joy if they can counter attack Ajax themselves, and Ajax will be a team that will leave gaps behind. And if the likes of Salah, Firmino, and Nunez are on it, then I think Liverpool will do well.
Yeah, not only is this an Ajax side that love to attack and will do it all game regardless, they have to simply go and win this match. So I think that's going to promote even more chances for Liverpool. But specifically, the threat to Liverpool you mentioned there, Ajax tend to score a lot of goals from midfield runners running, in behind. Now that's something that Liverpool have struggled with a lot this season, actually, with perhaps a change of shape in the midfield, a change of personnel. Fabinho slightly out of form. Do you think that's the main area of concern? You've got Mohamed Kudus, who granted plays up front in a sort of false nine role. The wingers running in behind. That really could be a problem for Liverpool, Ben, couldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if Fabinho and Henderson have both sort of struggled with tracking those midfield runners, so they're going to have to be on it today and do something completely different as to what they've done all season. So yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be something to watch. Kudus is especially a really good player, and I think he will enjoy playing against Liverpool. And I think he's someone to watch. I think he would be someone suitable to play for Liverpool as well, in terms of his pressing. He's got speed. He's quite intelligent in his movement, and with Firmino's contract running out in 2023, I think Kudus would be a good replacement.
Yeah, couldn't agree more with that one. I'd love to see him in Liverpool shirt. Maybe a January move would be on the cards, but we never know, do we? Anyway, we'll wrap that up there, Ben. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to all of you for watching and giving us your comments along in the comment section as well. Be sure to stick around with us here on the Blood Red channel, because we're going to bring you all the build-up to Liverpool against Ajax, and then all the post-match reaction, including Jurgen Klopp's press conference, as well as plenty of articles on the Liverpool Echo site and Liverpool.com, of course, from our writers like Ben. But thank you very much for joining us all, and we'll see you again next time on the Liverpool Daily News.